Good evening, gentlemen. It's Steady Eddie here, Tuesday night, 10 o'clock, prompt. Still got the Athens scenery behind me. I'll just move out the way a little bit so you can see that nice chick there. Okay, Fatboy Slim, good evening. Brian Street, hello. David Barnett, Barry from EastEnders, okay. Good evening, gentlemen. So first of all, can anyone tell me whether the sound and the vision and and all that kind of stuff is okay? That would help. I think there's been a few internet problems recently. Okay, yours travels. Good evening, mate. Stuart Marsden, Alan Hunter, Yogi Bear. We've got a question from Yogi Bear. What we're going to do in this little old live stream, we've got a major question, okay, which we can talk about, and a couple of suggested ones. One from Yogi Bear and another from Ian Bowden. I like it when people suggest, questions that we could ask and discuss. It's what it's all about. Let's see. Yogi Bear. Yeah, okay. Nice to hear from you, Yogi Bear. 90 minutes on the exercise bike. Good evening to you. Stephen Gamble, Chaz Brown, Peter Blue, Yours Travels, Seamus Doherty. Hi, Eddie. Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay. You can recommend other. You should check out Paul Joseph Watson, another good social comedy. Yeah, it's very, 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 very good. He does things very, very differently, but yeah, very good. Chaz Brown, sound and vision fine. Okay. Don't you wonder sometime about sound and vision? Yeah, I do. Okay. Right, where are we? Life Utopia. Yeah, nice to have you. Bentman, David Mahoney, super nice. Hello, Eddie and the rest. Stephen Tutty, Gaz77. Hi, Eddie. Just being on Pornhub. Good for you, mate. Good for you. What were you watching there? MILFs. MILFs and a son's mate. MILFs. Son's mate or something like that. Yeah, I know the sort of thing. Richard O, nice to Simon Eyes 41, Fatboy Slim. Always look forward to your chats. Wow, what else is going on at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night in the UK? I mean, it's March, it's 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night. It doesn't get any worse, does it? So may as well tune in here and have a little bit of a chat. Hard Tulip, good evening, comrade Eddie. Peter Blue, when's your next trip abroad, mate? I haven't got anything planned right now. I've got a couple of other little things in the pipeline, but I've had me fun, so I'll let that rest for a while. The Stoic, greetings from Alaska. That sounds bloody good. I'd like to see all those. The grizzly bears out of hibernation, yeah. I've seen documentaries about those grizzly bears and those, the vicious bastards. It's very bit. The savage. Well, what our animals are absolutely beautiful, stunning, but what they do to each other, it was awful, but sounds lovely anyway. Delayed Dave, even from the Azores, peeing down with rain, but very cool island in the Atlantic. Okay, nice to hear from you, mate. Yogi Bear, sound good, picture good, but the shaver not working. Well, it's cold. It's still sort of winter time, so I don't think it's necessary to have a shave. Yeah. Brian Street, Sound and Vision, great song. Okay. Let's see. Natalie in the Buff, Vietnamese lady. Nice to hear from you. Yours Travels, Man City 7-0 winners. Harlem 5 goals. Some played him. Okay, fine. Brian Street, 10 p.m. I'm missing midget throwing darts. Didn't he show topless darts on the TV once? And like a lot of guys, I thought, this is great. We've got to tune in for this. I think I didn't watch about one episode and then got bored with it. What happens next? Okay. Eugene Vincent, good evening. Oh, Michael. Oh, God. I forgot about that. We should have shown pictures of Michael Caine. Have I got any pictures? I might dig out. Can I just dig out a picture of Michael Caine? If he's 90 years of age, we got to. Can I dig out a picture of Michael Caine? Can I? No. Can I dig out a picture somewhere of Michael Caine? Oh, please. Let's see. No, I don't think I've got a picture of Michael Caine. Michael Caine, come on, come on. Let's see. Let's see. Have we not got a picture of Michael Caine? We've got to mention him. No, I forgot all about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay. I spy with my little eye. I spy with my little eye. Magnificent. We've got to pay a tribute to Michael Caine later. Okay. We'll leave it to the end of the show. We'll leave it to the end of the show, and we'll briefly talk about Michael Caine and what his best movies were, and we've got a wonderful, absolutely wonderful actor, wonderful star, great British icon, magnificent. We've got to pay a bit of a tribute to Michael Caine later. Shame on me, I almost forgot about that. Well, it did. Let's see. Okay, Brian Street, nice to hear from you. Nice to hear. One on my Facebook profile, mate. Yeah, I think I've seen that, actually. I think I've seen that. Gas 77. I went out for lunch today, dressed as a woman. I got my, put that on the screen. Gas 77. I went out for lunch today, dressed as a woman. I got my lunch for free. Well, there's something else to be said for that, isn't it? With a certain Scottish, a Scottish criminal and some other criminal as well. I forget that I said Scottish, but this happened in Scotland. Who claimed he was a tranny so he could gain access to a woman's prison. Whereupon we've got to talk about that sometime. Seamus Doherty, I must watch that Get Carter movie. If you've never seen it, absolutely magnificent, marvelous, definitely my favorite British thriller of all time. Absolutely. We'll talk a little bit about Michael Caine later on. Let me see. Yeah, let's see. Tan the Man. Do you miss the Spinners? Actually, they were a good group then. Can't remember what they sang. Yeah, Bugsy 61. My first job leaving school was for Barclays Bank, and I served him and his wife. She is beautiful at the till one day. Yeah, I think Michael Caine, in the early 70s, he's seen this girl on the Brazilian coffee advert, didn't he? Shakira. And she was absolutely beautiful Brazilian girl. And he's seen her on the coffee advert. And he was prepared. He fell in love with her. He was prepared to go to Brazil to meet her. And then he learned that she actually lived in London, not very far from where he lived. And I think they've been together ever since. Richard Michael Caine and Quincy Jones booked 90th today. That's amazing. Apparently they were friends, weren't they? Because Quincy Jones wrote some of the music, didn't he, for the Italian Job? Apparently they were good friends, weren't they, Quincy Jones? By the way, I'm drinking Gordon's gin with Schweppes tonic water. And that's bloody good. That tastes good. That's nice. Let's see. Seamus Doherty. Zulu is another great movie. I mean, Zulu was the movie that made him a star. Michael Caine's a wonderful actor. He hasn't always been very, very fussy about the films he's been. He's been in a lot of turkeys. He's been in some great, great classics. Zulu, Alfie, of course. Alfie, Get Carter, The Italian Job. And, some of the later ones. But a lot of his movies have been, not very good. But he's wonderful. Absolutely amazing. I love Michael Caine. Wonderful. Skeeter Pay. Budget tomorrow, Ed. More taxpayers' money will be wasted. Oh, let's see what we've got. Peter Blue, still not eating pork pies, Eddie. No, I'm not. I've been pretty good. I'm actually getting to the stage that I feel a little bit not good when I'm eating unhealthy food. I've had bacon on toast, which is not really the healthiest meal. So, and I haven't really enjoyed it. I'm actually starting to feel healthier eating healthy food. I mean, I'm doing things now that I never would have dreamed of before. Before I have a main meal, what I do is I have a little plate of olives. Yes, olives. and I dip, I put a bit of olive oil over them, and some nuts, walnuts, and I never would have dreamed of having something like that. Apparently, olive oil and olives are very, very good for you, and I like them. Me eating a plate of olives, would you ever have thought such a thing? Let's see. Who's this? 90 minutes ago. I remember the last year. Whatever. Okay, where are we going? Let's see now. Yours, Dave, there's still loads of trips you can book around the Azores. I've never actually been there. Joe Hart, good evening. Paul Hoskin. Ed's I went, Paul Hoskin, always have to cough. Paul Hoskin, Ed's I win, tail Zulus, okay. Yeah, but okay, yeah, but Alan Hunter blaming on rail. I think what Michael Caine said about that. I mean, that was a good, very, very entertaining film, that one. But I think there was too many bare boobies for his liking, because what he said is that when a girl's flashing the knockers on the screen, nobody's looking at him. I think he said something like that. But good movies. Neil Fleet, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, my dear. I enjoyed that. I thought him and Steve Martin made a really, really good partnership there. I actually watched that quite recently, and I enjoyed that. Let me see. David Barnett, Italian Job, blow the doors off. Oh, that is, oh my God. Do you know what? The Italian Job is one of those movies. It's so bloody good that I wish that I'd never seen it, because if I watched that movie now, I'd be watching it for about the 20th time. I mean, some movies you just wish that you'd never seen them, so you could watch them for the first. The Italian Job, that is, I would actually say, The Italian Job is a perfect movie. It's perfect. It's got a perfect cast. It's got the perfect blend of comedy and thriller. Michael Caine plays a wonderful part in it, and there's some lovely glamorous girls, isn't there? I love that scene when he comes out of prison. Let me do a little swig of this. When he comes out of prison, and his girlfriend drives into home, and she says, "There's a present for you," and all these beautiful 60s style women with no tattoos, gorgeous 60s women, stand and say, "Hi, Charlie, hi, Charlie." And his girlfriend says, "Well, what would you like?" He says, everything, absolutely wonderful. The Italian Job is a perfect movie, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Paul Laskin, 1 kilogram bacon. Okay. $3.99. Hard Shield. Why are we fools? Eddie, did you have pork chop, chips and peas followed by apple pie and ice cream in your recent travels? Probably, yeah. Peter Blue, oily fish like mackerel is apparently good for you. Yeah, it is. It is good for you, but pity that the co-op hasn't got any. I was in the co-op today because I'm not using that bloody Asda. I go up the hill. It's my local co-op, and not only of the prices in supermarkets, listen, but also, also there's things that they just haven't got. I've been looking for mackerel on the shelf; they haven't got it. Seamus Doherty, olives and feta cheese go well together. Well, I've got cheddar anyway. Let me see. What's that? Seamus Doherty, Layer Cake is a great modern movie. Yeah, I like that. I think it's Daniel Craig in that. Good movie, that. Gemini Star, Mediterranean is the way to go, Eddie. Plenty of olives and olive oil. Yeah, sure. Sure. But the thing is, though, this is winter time now. And, Mediterranean diet is kind of, for the Mediterranean climate, really. I know, olives and olive oil, absolutely. And I will. I was actually eating a plate of them, and I had some olive oil on top of them. So I would imagine that's very, very, that's very, very, very healthy. But you still need some hot stuff down. You're like, I had a pot noodle later on. Let me see. That's Stephen Gamble. The Side House Rules was a good movie. Don't think I've seen that one. Gemini Star, nice to hear from you. Why Fuels? Eddie, are you going to Greece this summer? I wouldn't rule anything out, but I haven't got any plans. Yourself, was that movie where he plays the vigilante? Cracking movie. Are you talking about Get Carter? That was 90. Get Carter was 1971. It's amazing. I'll put it on the screen again. We'll talk about that one simply because it holds up well, even to today. And what was probably amazing about that movie is that they managed to get a star like Michael Caine in it, because the British film industry at that time was in a really, really, really bad state. And they couldn't. A lot of them couldn't afford to make movies, and that film was a very aggressively British film. And but they managed to get this star Michael Caine in this what was probably quite a low budget movie, and it still holds up today. It is a marvelous, marvelous, marvelous film. Well worth watching. Let me see. Okay, let's get that one down. Okay, where are we now? Gaz said, I'm going to book a flight to Portugal tomorrow as I'm sick of the UK already. Only been back 2 weeks. Oh, good for you. So, Simon Eyes, Michael Caine is a superb actor. The Italian Job will always be my favourite. But I really enjoyed him in the role of Alfred in the Batman movies. Yeah, he played a damn good part in that. Chaz Brown, what do you think of the end of the Italian Job? Bit of a cliffhanger. Well, the first time I seen the movie, donkeys years ago, it took me by surprise, that ending. But you kind of get used to that ending now. It's quite clever. It is literally a cliffhanger. I think that ending was stolen really by that movie. What was it called? Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. If you look at the ending of that movie, there's similarities. Hard chill. I bet Michael Caine went back to Newcastle after he did Get Carter. Well, he never lost his. He must have lost his Newcastle accent somewhere along there, didn't he? Yeah. Let me see. El Terrifico, nice to hear from you, mate. This stream gets the Steady Eddie seal of approval. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let's see. Those Italian girls are hairy. Not anymore. Maybe they were in 1970s horror movies, which I like very much, but not necessarily. I encountered some beautiful Italian girls in Amsterdam, and so lovely, and they're not as hairy as what you think, but they are lovely. What I did find with Amsterdam, with Italian girls, women, is that they tend to have a bit of attitude. They're tough. They're not softies at all. You have to watch them. Yeah, Brian Street. What's that fair to live, mate? It does make you lose weight, but it can be too nice. I've never heard it called that before. That's bloody good. That's bloody good, that stuff. Cowboy Vic episode didn't claim Blade Equal. No, I think that was Edward Woodward, wasn't it? Let's see. Stephen Gamble won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in The Cider House Rules. I missed that movie somehow. I really, really missed that one. Yours Travels. The movie the movie where he takes on the kids and the council. Yeah, that was Harry Brown. That was bloody good movie. In fact, that was about 10, 12 years ago now. Yeah, absolutely. He's an ex-Marine, isn't he? Getting on a bit, but he takes on the thugs in the council estate, and that is a film that's worth watching numerous times. I've seen that quite a few times. Bloody good stuff. Harry Brown, excellent. Let me see. Yeah, what was it? Peter? What was the recent film Caine played an aging guy? Yeah, that was Harry Brown. Let's see. The Man Who Would Be King, brilliant film, top class act too. Yeah, he had a bit of a funny haircut in that. Anyway, let's just say happy birthday. Another picture of him. Happy birthday to Michael Caine, marvelous British actor. Probably not to everyone's taste, but unbelievably charismatic, very talented actor. And at 90 years of age, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he's still making movies out there. Wonderful. Anyway, happy birthday to Michael Caine. Okay, so it's Tuesday night, and we need things to talk about. We need things. I'm pleased to say it's nice and warm. The temperature is raised a little bit. It was sunny today. It was sunny out there today, so I had to walk in the sun. Mark Ollig, nice to see you, Mark. Nice to see you. Hope all's well, mate. I hope you're coping well with the winter wonderland in Minnesota. Nice to hear from you, mate. Let's see. So anyway, right now, we're going to do a big question. Now, this is a question. As soon as I even mention the word, some people get on their high horse about this because I've mentioned it before, you know. So anyway, this is the big question of the day. Let's see. Let's see now. Okay. We've done this. Okay. Okay. So anyway, okay. So. This is a big question. Okay. Okay. So the word that gets people's goat is the word Brexit, right? Now, we're not going to talk, well, not much anyway, not much about, you know, the dingy people, illegal immigrants, because everyone's talking about that right now. It's a topical thing. But Brexit, you know, that word came about during the referendum. And for years, people have been saying, you know, let's get out of Europe. And it caused political issues. It caused problems with Thatcher and Major and God knows who else. But anyway, the Brexit, I think it was about 6 years ago now. It might have even been 7 years, 6 or 7 years since Britain voted to pull out of the European Union. To a surprise, because the Remainers were actually winning at that moment in time. So anyway, we were told when Brexit happened that we were going to take back sovereignty of our country. And, you know, things were going to be hunky-dory, whereas more cynical people said, no, it'll be disaster. We'll end up going back to the Stone Age and dinosaurs will be roaming around and all that. But 5 or 6, I mean, about 6 or 7 years later is no short time. It's enough time to judge it. So the question is, after all those years, has Brexit been a success or a failure? Okay. Excuse me while I just blew my nose. Okay. So has Brexit been a success or a failure? And you cannot say, well, no, give it a bit more time. It's too early. It's been bloody 6 years since we voted to pull out. Let me see. Mark Ollig, sunny in Minneapolis, 32 degrees, and yes, there is snow. Sounds lovely. And yet, Mark Ollig, happy birthday to 90th birthday to Michael Caine. Shamefully, I forgot about it until someone just reminded me. Gemini Star, Hammer House of Horror, hairy fannies with Christopher. No, Christopher Lee didn't have a hairy fanny. He didn't. Well, I didn't actually say it, but I don't think he did. Giving him a good saying. Okay, cool. Hard Tulip. I like movies that are mostly realistic before Jackie Chan fight scenes, not high definitely based on a true story at the end. Okay. So anyway, let's just go through here. Beans and bruised drunk threats archive. Brexit, extremely good decision. Own country, own rules. But it hasn't been a success or a failure. I mean, we haven't entirely got our own rules because every time we try and do something, the bloody European Union pulls out some document that we signed in 1951. So, it sounds wonderful. EU all power in Brussels, fat. David Mayer says it has been a failure. Well, I'm leaning towards that one, to be honest with you. Stephen Gamble, Brexit hasn't been implemented yet. It's had at least 6 years. 6 years. We were told it'll take 2 years to pull out of the European Union. It's been about 6 years. I know all the documents have been signed and this, that, and the other, but it doesn't look like a success to me. I mean, the fact is that since the vote happened and we voted to pull out of the European Union, illegal immigrants have rocketed in their numbers. There's more of them coming over the channel than ever before. The pound, as soon as Brexit happened, the pound lost value and it's never recovered since. The pound was strong before Brexit. It was generally strong against the dollar, against the euro, against other currencies. Since Brexit, it took a nosedive and it's never recovered since. So those of us who want to go abroad are paying more money. Doesn't look like a success to me, mate. Tanner man, the UK is cooked. Let's see. Hard Tulip, too much red tape for trucking companies and other businesses. Okay. Brian Street, no comment. Okay. Let's see. Gemini Star, as the UK benefited from Brexit. Well, really, because weren't we told there was this big bus, which now they don't like to mention, the people who put the bus there, on the side of the bus saying, we pay the European Union £350 million a week. This could be going to the national health. And it led people to believe that as they didn't actually use the word solve, but it led some, naive people to believe it could solve the national health. The national health is in more of a bloody crisis now than it's ever been before. Whatever happened to this 350 million quid a week? It seems to have dissipated into a black hole. Paul Hoskin, before Brexit, £1 equaled 52 baht. Sounds about right. Chaz Brown, Brexit will be a success once all remaining rotten EU rules have been replaced. This takes time due to the thousands of EU laws put in place behind the British people's backs over the last... Okay, that's a good comment. Yours Travels, it's kind of a failure, but it was always going to take 10 to 20 years before it works out. Will people like me be alive to see that? I mean, that's quite a long time. And there's some crazy things about Brexit. I mean, I spent a lot of time in Turkey, which has never been in the European Union. They were hoping it was going to be, but it was never ever going to happen. But I got to know quite a lot of expats out there that way. And some of those people were the most vociferous about Brexit. They wanted Britain to pull out of the European Union. These people lived in Turkey. These were English people who chose to live in Turkey. They didn't want to know Britain anymore. So, I don't really see the logic, but the worst ones, apparently, and I don't know Spain as well as I know somewhere like Turkey, but apparently there were an awful lot of British expats in Spain who were saying, let's pull out of the European Union. And now they're, thinking, wait a minute, we can only stay here for 3 months. We can't live here anymore. We can only stay here for 3 months at a time. When they were told that, when they wanted to pull out of the European Union, did they not think that it applied to them as well? It's all a bit bizarre, really. Let's see. Billy Bob, I know the answer is this. It depends on who you ask, okay? Joe Hart, failure. It should never have been a vote put to the people. It should have been a parliamentary vote. Do you know what? I don't know. In a curious way, I'm inclined to agree with that. I'm not saying that the British people out there are dumb, stupid. I'm not saying that. Except I've worked with the public for many years, and a lot of them bloody are. But yeah, and the thing is, it should be. I mean, the British public is not always in touch with the financial aspects of stuff. I mean, maybe a parliamentary vote. I mean, I'm open to that one. Let's see. Bruno Sebastiani. Eddie, the UK formally left the EU on the 31st of January 2020, not 2016. Well, that was more than 3 years ago. Gemini Star. Brexit equals the cost of living crisis as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Jim Jet. Brexit failed me because I brought British pounds believing the pound would rise in value. It's been a disaster. I mean, the pound has been a disaster. It's lost value, dreadful value, almost overnight, and it's never recovered since. Hard tulip, red tape, more illegal immigrants. David Mayer, UK is too small to do it on its own. Okay. Chaz Brown, UK government is failing, not Brexit. Government too slow to implement new English laws, changes. Okay. Okay, Brian, see, the money went on the anti-IRIS and war. Okay. John Ney, failure. How can Britain expect to progress financially by making trade with our nearest market more difficult? Okay, that's fair comment. Life Utopia. No way has it been a success. The pound tanked and has never recovered. I had to queue 2 hours to get into Amsterdam, as we've now got new EU passports. Disaster. Well, I went to Romania last year, didn't I? It seems unbelievable that countries like Romania are now in the European Union, and we're not. We're not in the European Union. There's a lot of things that about the European Union that I kind of dislike. I mean, the fact is that there's so many countries, impoverished countries, that would join the European Union. That we never figured on when it was called a common market. Well, in the 1970s, as I recall, we were joining something called the common market. And the fact is, you cannot have other countries telling you how many foreigners that you've got to have in your country. You simply can't have that. And yet the irony is now we've got more of them than ever. It's all a bit bizarre. But one of the things, I mean, immigration and the amount of money we give to the European Union, I think they were the two main issues that swung the vote. People were angry about it. But I think there was a third reason why people were angry about the European Union. And I think that what it was Brussels. I mean, this was run by some little country called Belgium, but I passed through Belgium. I've never bothered going to Belgium properly. But the European Union, I kept on hearing the words fat cats. These people in Brussels are lining their own pockets. They're on the kind of pensions and salaries that the rest of us can only dream about. And what are they doing? I mean, all of these people, these fat cats in Brussels telling us what to do. Would you know these people if you fell over them in the street? They were faceless people. I mean, Brussels, the European Parliament, they were very, very much to blame for the vote because they done nothing to try and win us over. All of these fat cats in their expensive suits and their high earnings didn't actually come out and say to us British people, this is what you've got to gain by staying in the European Union. Or if they did, I don't recall it. They kept themselves faceless and anonymous. If I walked past a bloody bunch of people from the European Parliament, I wouldn't have a bloody clue. I wouldn't know them if I fell over them. So they never really done anything to win us British people over, really. Paul Hoskin, what type of person voted to leave? Was it the young, middle-aged, or old? I think it was the old. I think it was definitely the old. The older people, they were the ones. Because don't forget, the older people are suffering because their pensions aren't what they should be, and they're the ones who really were antagonistic towards the fat cats in Brussels. Really, as for the young people, the problem with young people is that I think they would have voted to stay in, but a lot of young people can't be bothered voting. That's the problem with it. A lot of them simply have got better things to do than come out and vote on the day. I think if the younger people had have actually come out to vote, the ones who just turned 18, I think it would have been a different story. But they didn't. They didn't, did they? They didn't vote. So I think that's the problem, you see. Let's see. Okay, David Heisenberg, lookalike, nice to hear from you. Okay, Billy Bob, the referendum was that important. They would have asked me to decide. Okay. I like Europe. I mean, Europe's a wonderful, wonderful, amazing continent. But at the end of the day, we're still Britain, and we can't have other people telling us what to do. We can't have other people telling us what to do. But in terms of it being a success or a failure, 6 or 7 years down the line, it looks to me like a bloody failure. That's the way it's looking to me. I can't really see anything that's been a success. David Marchant, total failure. Paul Hoskin voted to stay. Stephen Tutty, why would the UK want to leave the EU? I understand they want to be told what to do by someone in Brussels, but it's made up of 27 countries with different cultural beliefs. Yeah, but with the 27 countries, when we joined in the 1970s, I think there was only about 7 that you'll find. They wanted it. Funnily enough, one of the things, I mean, countries like Romania that joined the EU, Romania. I mean, I've been to Romania. I like Romania. I even like, some of the Romanian people that I've met. But they didn't have the best reputation, did they, the Romanians? And also, there were rumours, weren't there, that Albania were going to join the European Union. And I think that's people that, we've had enough of this. We've bloody had enough of this. David Heisman, Brexit has not been done correctly because of the Conservative Party mucking it up. I don't think Labour would have done any better. Okay, Rob Blackwell, another mob of Remainers moaning. Okay. Simon House 41, Brexit has nothing to do with the UK cost of living crisis, as this crisis is happening throughout Europe and the world. Fair enough. Gemini Star, Nigel Farage has only promised empty promises concerning leaving the EU. I mean, Nigel Farage is quite amazing. He's got amazing charisma. But I'm not sure I totally trust him, to be honest with you. I mean, when he was campaigning for us to get out of Europe, he was using such bombastic language. He was saying that if we stay in Europe, it's only a matter of time before 70 million Turks are going to be heading this way. Excuse me, Turkey has not joined the European Union. And also, the idea, there's about 70 million people in Turkey. The idea that every last man, woman, and child in Turkey is going to leave that country and head over to Britain is absolute scaremongering, absolute rubbish. A lot of Turks are quite happy. Turkey's a beautiful country. A lot of Turkish people are doing all right. They don't even want to be part of that. Billy Bob, yeah, that's an interesting one. Billy Bob, the question should be name one success of Brexit. Okay, yeah, absolutely. I'll give you that one, yeah. Name one success. Yeah, exactly. I can't bloody think of one off my head. Stephen Gamble, get him to the Cameron, Billy Bob. Oh, the Cameron wasn't that bad. Bruno, Eddie, what I'm saying is the effects of Brexit wasn't seen because of the pandemic for the first 2 years. Judge the effects over the last year. The disaster is only starting. Jesus. Doesn't sound good, does it? Paul Austin, if you love doing loads of extra paperwork, doing business with Europe, Brexit was a success. Okay. London cab. Boris lied to us through the back teeth. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Why are white fools? I bumped into Lisa Day on the recent business trip to the Gambia. She was walking like a bow-legged cowboy in the seafront with a big smile on her face. But what would you expect? What would you expect? Okay, dirty bitch. Okay, yours travels. The biggest problem is now when the government want to put in strict rules for immigration. 50% of the UK cry and say that it's cruel. Greece is shooting at boats from Italy. It's all getting a bit bizarre. What to put it straight. I mean, 50% of the UK crime says, are you sure it's 50%? I mean, the thing is, the people who want to stop the illegal immigrants, I think they far outnumber the ones who want to let them in. I mean, really, I wouldn't actually say that was 50-50, really. I'd seen a little video, and I can't remember who done it, but it was on YouTube earlier on. And basically, it was a procession of people, do-gooders, let the migrants in, let the migrants in. This guy went up to him with a microphone and said, "Would you let the migrants stay in your home?" And well, yeah. And the answer was generally, "Well, yeah, I would, yeah, if I had space, if I had space." They're all me ass there. Okay, Chaz Brown, glad I voted to leave that rotten, corrupt EU. We now just need MPs with a backbone to help people there, as well as leave the European cause of human rights so we can stop mass immigration in the UK by undesirables. Well said. Well said. Billy Bob, I'm surprised you've never been to Belgium, Ed. It's full of top quality beer. What's in Belgium? What is in Belgium? David Eisenberg, no, I wouldn't know any EU people, and they are not elected. Exactly. Xiao Bao, true, Britain First policies will allow Britain to rise to the top again. All your country's hardships were created by your government. Okay, fair comment. It was that whole day. Let's see. Terry Jones, pension age probably going up by the age of 7. I'll never see a bloody state pension. I'm pretty sure I'll be dead by then. But Rob Blackmore, Eddie sat on the fence again. Do you mean fence or do you mean French? Eddie sat on the French again. I wouldn't mind being sat on the French as long as it was Bridget Bardot. Okay. Okay, Paul Hoskins, soon in UK we'll have 15-minute cities, whatever that means. I'm not sure. Have I heard that before? Let's see. Richard, though, Ed, have you got a Thai beach backdrop instead, please? You don't want to look at the backdrop. There's a nice chick in the background. There's a couple of nice chicks for you anyway. A couple of nice, and that was all taken by me. I didn't get that off the internet. That is from a walkabout in Athens, that is. Gemini Star. Turkey wants to join the EU. Yeah, did we want to join the EU? But there's so many other countries like Austria who are opposed to it. And I don't think they'll ever join the EU now. I think they've missed a boat on that one. And I think a lot of them have really given up, to be honest with you. Let me see. Paul Hoskin, pay as you drive per mile coming soon. We are turning into a car-hating country. David Mayer, inflation is high in the UK than most developed nations. Well, I'll tell you what, bloody food's gone up because I've been to the co-op a couple of times. And I went to Tesco's. I went to Tesco's last week, and the cost of coffee, jars of coffee and various other bloody things, yeah, definitely gone up. Definitely gone up. Chess Brown, if you're in the EU, you can't have your own currency, flag, identity laws. You're just a state controlled by faceless bureaucrats in Brussels. Absolutely. And that's exactly what they are, faceless bureaucrats. Mark Saunders, hi Eddie. You got the travel blues now. You're back in the UK, but I'm okay. I'm having fun. I'm having fun doing this. Charles Brown, success. UK economy doing better than any EU countries. Well, then they must be well and truly in this shite. Then if that's the case, Shane W. Illegal immigration is worse now. Okay. Gemini Star, more illegal immigrants in the UK, success for the illegals, absolutely. What's that? Tony's Travels. One success is the racists are now happy with the blue passport to match their Millwall, Chelsea, Rangers top delete where applicable. Make what you please of that one. Simon, I suppose, well, one success of Brexit, I do like the blue passport. I haven't got one of them yet. I've still got an old British passport. Neil, Australian submarine deal not possible without Brexit. 5 billion investments in BA systems. Yeah, but it was it? Was it Vince Cable when he was challenged about that? Yeah, well, you know, it's starting to do more deals with Australia now. Didn't Vince Cable say, "Oh, come on, get real"? You know, it's small beer, isn't it? I think that was Vince Cable who said that. I don't know about the details about that. David Mayer, are you worried about the banks? Who isn't? You know, I've got a private pension. And of course, I'm worried about the banks because, well, you know, when the banks, you know, go pear shaped, you know, the shares tumble and our private pensions tumble as well. Everything tumbles. So, yeah, absolutely. Yogi Bear, the UK is one of the lowest unemployment rates in the world since Brexit. We have also applied to join the Asian Common Market, which means it will be easier to stay in Asia. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Every every major economy is immigration. Ridiculous pandering to racists. Okay. Z Bow, thumbs. Okay. Thank you for that, mate. Thumbs up. Mark Saunders, the French don't seem to do a lot. Stopping the immigrants from invading us. Well, hasn't Rishi Wishy-washy just done a deal with the French? You know, a deal which has cost us many hundreds of millions. You know, for the French to make more of an effort to stop. I believe it when I say it. This government that we've got now is saying this time, more than any other time, we're really, 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 really going to stop those boats coming illegally across the channel. Yeah? Well, I believe it when I see it. Okay? No name. Did I miss the squeaky door? I'm just here for the coming up soon. David Mayer, Turkey has 80% inflation. Their currency has fallen through the bloody floor. Their currency is floor. I mean, the thing is, the Turkish lira went very, very strong when I first started going out there, and now it's kind of valueless. 80% inflation. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Mark Oller, the prices are crazy here too. With things he's in Minnesota. Eggs are very, very pricey these days. Yeah, really. Well, everything's, you know, I've only glanced at a couple of supermarkets since I've been back in England, but yeah, expensive. Paul Hoskin, hot air balloons, 100% inflation. Good for you, mate. Joe Hart, Belgium known for Trappers beer and chocolates. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I don't have any either of them. Stephen West, British jobs for British workers. The ironic thing is we haven't got enough British workers. Yours Travels, everything has gone up 20 to 50 pence, so weekly shop is £25 more expensive on average. It's a good job that I'm cutting down on food and drink, isn't it? Because, you know, I would see I'm actually eating and drinking less now, so I'm probably spending less on food and drink. Today, Oh, but by the way, in case you want, I've gone a whole week without beer. I'm not buying any more beer or wine, so I'm starting to feel a bit better about it. I did today buy a bottle of gin and a bottle of Co-op's own brand of rum, and the two of them together were about 28 quid. But if I can make them last a week, believe me, I mean, if I can spend 28 quid a week on booze, that is a massive, massive reduction on what I was doing before. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm doing all right with regards to that. David Coleman, hi Eddie. I just got in the door. Good to see you. Okay, nice to hear from you, David. David Coleman, the submarine deal is the best thing that's happened to England in a long time. Oh, we'll see how that pans out. I mean, that's just happened, hasn't it? So we'll see the repercussions of that. You know. Ugh. Billy Bob, yeah. Tim Martin, Wetherspoon CEO, campaigning for vote leave in many of his pubs because he said his business would thrive and beer would be cheaper. He's now closing or selling off 54 pubs. Nice one, Tim. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Stephen West, imagine thinking the Tories, who facilitated record breaking numbers of immigrants coming to Britain, is the most right-wing British government ever to hold office. It's all bloody crazy. Mark Holland, on average, 6% the last year. I think we're talking about eggs there. I think our inflation's gone up a lot more than that. Okay, David Coleman, thank God my pension is guaranteed by the government. In Britain right now, it seems nothing's guaranteed. Mark, I'll have taken my pension in about 6 months. Good for you, mate. Good for you. I don't think I've got a private pension. As for the state pension, I don't think I'll live to see that somehow. The way they keep putting it back. Let's see. David Coleman, the Canadian dollar is only 75 cents American, and that is what's killing us. Okay. Simon I's 41. Speaking of pensions, a colleague of mine has had to postpone his early retirement by at least 2 years because of the recent fall in pension value. I feel for him as he was looking to go on in 2023. You know, I mean, nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's bloody guaranteed in this. You're not even guaranteed that you're going to live long enough to see your pension. You really, really are not. I mean, the thing is, I'm glad that I've probably had about 10 years retirement already. Because I don't mean I stopped work 10 years ago. I've been working right up until last year. But I probably, in terms of the time that I've spent abroad, I probably had about 10 years retirement anyway. So, I mean, some people work like donkeys until they're 65, 70 years of age, thinking I'm going to enjoy my retirement. Then you're not even guaranteed to live that long. You just got to try and grab out of life what you can while it's there. David Coleman, if the beer in Thailand that bad that you were not drinking it, well, I was drinking beer, but the more I drank the Thai beer, the more I found it to be very, very negative. I don't like Chang, Singer, or Leo. I like Heineken. That's the best one. It just becomes so negative. I was just drinking beer all the time, thinking, what's the bloody point? So, the fact that I dislike the Thai beer has helped me to ditch the beer, basically. Okay, let's see that. Okay. So anyway, we've had a good little chat about this anyway. We're coming up to an hour now. What's this? David Coleman, LGBTQT, police in the UK, drag queen story time. I'm not up to date on drag queen stories, but we can talk about that when the time is right. Yo says, David Coleman, I know you're a fan of Thai beer. I drink San Miguel Light. It's a nice beer. It's not the Spanish beer. The problem with San Miguel Light, it can be refreshing when you've had one or two, but after a while, it seems very, very weak. I mean, the only beer that's available really is going in Thailand that I really like is actually the Heineken. The Heineken's a nice beer. Unfortunately, what I found with a lot of places, especially the islands, is that you go into a bar or a restaurant where they say, they give you the selection of beer or even draft beer, and you tend to find that Heineken is the one that they haven't got, even though they list it. Brian Street, Cheltenham races today. I heard Guinness £20 a pint. Oh, well, if you can get the money, there's someone who can afford that. Billy Bob, UK inflation is 10% right now. Yeah, sounds about right. Let's see. Okay, so Chaz Brown. Yeah, where are you? Chaz Brown. Looking at price in the shops, I reckon inflation is close to 40 or 50. Well, let me see now. Let me see. Seamus Doherty. You have to be careful on these topics, Ed. You might get cancelled. No, I'm careful what I say. I'm careful. I think I am anyway. I think I am. Who's that? Humongous Sticky Vicky story time next. I think we've done that. Seamus Doherty, Heineken's the last beer I ever go for. Well, in Thailand, I mean, the Heineken's the best one. It's the only one that I enjoy, really. Paul Hoskin, gas prices have been low for a couple of months now. Will the shops reduce their prices soon? I'm not really with it. I'm not really with that. Anyway, I'm going to get myself another gin. I'm going to get another gin. And we talked about Brexit and the end result is somebody posed a question. Name one success of Brexit. I can't think of one. Can anybody? I can't think of one. Okay, let's see. Where are we now? Where are we now? Okay, it's time for the one, the only, the legendary squeaky door time. Okay, I'm back anyway. Wait a minute. I'm going to put a bit more gin in it. I'm going to put a bit more Violin into that glass. Ah, that's better. Ah, that's better. Okay, where are we now? Let me see. Yours Travels. I'm stopping in Abu Dhabi for 3 hours in 2 weeks' time. I won't be paying £12 a pint. Well, I wouldn't either. David Coleman, I'm taking the Filipino. You know, with plenty of information there. Good for you, mate, anyway. Mister, put 800 miles for 2 years on a car, okay? Richard, do you listen to any music yet? I used to. Not so much nowadays. Did I tell you, by the way, I had a copyright issue on one of my videos that I did on Thailand, and the safest non-copyrighted music that you can use is YouTube audio library. I mean, you simply can't go wrong with it, except some bastard like made a copyright claim, and YouTube actually stopped my monetization on that. It wasn't a major video, for a couple of days before they got wise to it. There's people out there who try and scam anything, but YouTube is not as clever as what you think, because a human being would have spotted this straight away. This is some scammer who's trying to pull a fast one. But the robots, they're the ones who judge. And all of a sudden, somebody comes along and says, that's my music that he's using. I got the bloody music from YouTube audio library, for Christ's sake. It's all resolved now, but, oh, God almighty. Terry Jones, love the door. I think it's got more squeakier than last door. Okay. John Mitch, hi, Eddie from Bogota, Colombia. Having loads of rumpy bumpy here. You jammy bastard. Good for you, mate. Good for you. You only live once, John. Loads of rumpy bumpy in Colombia. Okay. Well, I've no comment to make on that one, except have a bloody good time. Have a rumpy bumpy time, John. Let me see. What the bloody hell? I don't know. I'm going to get a new one. A wife, that is. I love my. Who's that? The walking dude. I'm going to get a new one. A wife, that is. I love my mutt. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Whatever. Who's this? Simon Ice 41. Eddie, can we have a movie and music live stream one evening, please? It would be nice to forget about the crap side of life for one evening. Just wondering. I did a live stream. Actually, it was on my main channel last year. It was actually when I was in Thailand. I did, a list of what I said was what I believe is the greatest year ever in the history of movies. And that year is 1971. And it went down well. It was a good little old live stream, but that was on the other channel. And, a lot of people who watched it really enjoyed it. But I believe 1971 was the greatest year ever in the history of movies. But maybe we'll do something like that. See about best westerns. Okay, we'll do something like that. Yeah, let's see. Okay, Paul Laskin, somewhere there's a place where hundreds of YouTube police is watching us. David Mayer, did you watch the Oscars? No, it's a lot of cards. Well, it used to be bloody good. They used to give the award to the best one, and now I don't bother with that anymore. A lot of clap crap. And anyway, so let's have another question. No, this is a couple of questions that were suggested by regular viewers of this channel, which is very, very kind of them to suggest questions. Let's see, what have we got now? Couple of quite light-hearted questions, okay? So let me see now. Let me see. Oh no, that's something else, isn't it? So what was the question? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. And this is the question. This is from Ian Bowden. Yes? Ian Bowden. Let me see. This is from Ian Bowden. So let's put this one on. Let me see. Okay, so this is the question, okay? This is from Ian Bowden. The question is, what used to make British people proud of their country and what is there to be proud of now? Okay? Anyone like to answer that one? Let's see. Let's see. David Mayer, 1971 was a great year for Italian horror. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, especially lovely those Italian horror movies. They were lovely and hairy in them days, weren't they? Yeah, Paul Hoskins and Gigolo, yes. Okay. Simonized first. I don't remember that stream. It was probably at work. As you know, I can't be part of all of them. To be honest, I'm up for any stream that takes the minds off the ball. Cheers. Well, check it out. It comes from about early last year. It's the best year ever in the history of movies, in my opinion. And that year was 1971. When you consider amongst the movies in 1971 was that one there, which still holds up well today. And also you got films like A Clockwork Orange, Straw Dogs, Dirty Harry, wonderful, wonderful movie. Yeah, 1971. So you're welcome to check that one out. Barry from EastEnders. I'm proud of the Queen, football, our sense of humour and our pubs. Okay. Fair enough. David Mayer, living on a thin line. Okay. Yeah, Brian Street is my mum's oxtail stew, now a chicken marvelous. Nice answer. Let's see. Humongous football. That's about it right now. Man City has just thumped the Germans 7-0. Bloody good. English football, it's not even played by English people. They're mostly bloody foreigners, aren't they? It's so popular. People in Thailand, can be Liverpool fans. In Vietnam, they're Manchester United fans. In the Middle East, they're Man City fans. Why are they? Why does somebody from bloody Dubai or whatever support Man City? I don't get it. I really don't get it. And what I find funny about football is the names. Some of the names, when you're watching football, you hear the commentator mention the names. I sometimes think I'm watching a spaghetti western. Names like Rodriguez, Fernandez, Sanchez. I thought we're watching football or a bloody spaghetti western. Christ almighty. Anyway, Phil Roberts, proud of queuing then and queuing now. If the British are good at one thing, it's organising the queue. Okay. Yeah. Simonized for our manufacturing. Once we were the best, especially in terms of railways, aircraft, and ships. But are we anymore, though? Are we anymore? How many people have British cars now? I don't see that many about. Far more like Japanese or whatever, aren't they? See, Bow, British were known for being smart, having common sense, a good sense of humour, and enjoying a good pint. Okay, absolutely. Especially the last one. Chaz Brown, Marmite fish and chips, Walker's crisps, and a sense of humour. Okay, Chaz. Mister, need 25 to 32 axle extender for stability training wheels. Wheelchair. Is this exchanging mark now, is it? Jet up the British Empire and legacy. We set up the world. Yeah, it is true that English is probably the most wide spoken language in the world, although it's probably been overtaken by Mandarin or Spanish or whatever. But I mean, English is a universal language, really. So I suppose you can be proud of that. Yours travels. I'm proud to be British. I travel a lot, and Liverpool is where I'm from. It's where I'm from. It's known for music and sport and everywhere. I visit. Everyone knows Liverpool. Boxing, football, F1 drivers. Proud British. Well, good for you, Yoz. Good for you. I must admit, when I meet people from other countries, especially Americans, I like Americans because when they say, "Where are you from? Where is your accent from?" and I say Liverpool. Americans, quite often, they're the one group of people who are most likely to say, "Oh, that's where the Beatles come from." And that's what Liverpool should be remembered for. I don't always like it when people say, "Oh, Liverpool football." Especially Liverpool's more than football, especially, most of these football players are bloody foreigners anyway. I mean, the Beatles were actually from Liverpool. They are really the thing that I'm most proudest of Liverpool of. Anyway, no name. The Titanic wasn't such a great UK ship. Some of my jokes go down like the Titanic. Anyway, Barry from EastEnders. I know there's a lot of knobheads in Britain, but it's great in the summer. Nowhere better, in my opinion. Okay, fair enough. Except the weather. We still haven't got the weather. I mean, I live down south where it's supposed to be, nice and sunny. The British weather is the most unpredictable weather that I've seen anywhere. We have had summers, even down south. We have had summers where it's just bloody raining all the time. You just never know. It's pure luck with the British weather. It really, really is. David Coleman, I'm so proud that my ancestors came from Britain. Okay. Let's see. Paul Hoskin, wherever you come from, you should be proud. Okay. No name. He's been to Liverpool and he had a good time there. Good for you. Why Fields. Cockney used to bang on about how great London was. Now there isn't any left, and they never say London is great anymore. This is probably true because, Cockneys. Whenever I meet London people, they don't have good things to say about London. Whenever they, I've met them down south, and they don't have good things to say about London. But then Birmingham people don't often have good things to say about Birmingham. It's not everyone's proud of where they come from. Humongous. Yeah, it's pretty amazing the amount of bands, artists Britain has produced. Oh, absolutely. Britain ruled the world in terms of the great rock bands. I mean, the classic rock bands of the 60s and 70s, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, the Beatles, the Stones, the Who. I mean, they don't come any better, do they? Absolutely. Britain produced some amazing rock bands. And the actors, Michael Caine. Let us not forget. Happy birthday to Michael Caine, 90 years old today, a British Institute, a British legend. God bless Michael Caine. Wonderful person, wonderful actor. Absolutely amazing. Happy birthday to him. Yogi Bear, I'm proud of our heritage over 1,000 years, and the world stopped to watch how we did things when the Queen died, as no one had seen in 70 years. Oh, yeah, the Queen, the royal family, the Queen carried a great deal of weight, didn't she? Seamus Doherty, you should come to Ireland, Eddie. It's less multicultural. Well, I don't know. I've seen lots of videos, Seamus, where, asylum seekers. I was watching one earlier where some bloody asylum seeker was in a hotel in Ireland, and he was throwing a bloody tantrum, because they wouldn't let him take a cooker into his hotel because they said it was a fire hazard, and he was, cheeky bastard, was doing what he. Well, I've not heard good things. I seen another one in Ireland where this asylum seeker, ethnic minority, assaulted, I think that's the right word, a young girl who was passing by, with a skimpy mini skirt on, and I don't know, I don't know. I don't know Ireland. I'm not in Ireland, so I wouldn't really know. Joe Hart, Eddie, check out Nosferatu, Continental Vampire movie with Klaus Kinski and Isabella Gianni, and she's hairy. I would like to check that one out. One of my favorite vampire movie of all time is called Vampires in Venice, and that features Klaus Kinski, some wonderful scenery, Venetian scenery, and some delightfully hairy women as well. Nosferatu, I must see that one. I've seen Vampires in Venice many times. I don't think it's the same film. I will try and check that one out. Gemini Star, London has become a city of crime, sadly. Yeah, it's amazing. I feel very, very nervous walking around London at night time, whereas I can walk around somewhere like Bangkok at night time and not worry about it. David Coleman, the British Empire, we made the world. Okay. Mark USA, the Spice Girls. Wash your mouth out with soap. No, I'm just kidding. I like the Spice Girls. London Cab, Tyler, Jason Statham. I like Jason Statham. He's like a throwback to when actors, tough guy actors, wear pretty boys. He looks like a proper SAS man. He's got a really mean face. I really like Jason Statham a lot. Really like him a lot. David Mayer, be proud of who you are, not where you are from. Okay, very nice words of wisdom there. Let me see. Okay. Paul Hoskin, 2:30 a.m. twice a week in the car. Is he talking about dogging again? YouTube, if you don't mind me asking, how much you spend on your holiday? May do a video. I've done a video about 4 months in Thailand last time, so I haven't really added it up, to be honest with you. David Mayer, Kinski was a great actor. Yeah, he was a great actor. He was very, very charismatic. He was wonderful. He wasn't a very, very nice man. His daughter, Nastasia Kinski, and her sister do not have very nice things to say about him at all, really. So, but he was a great actor. Sydney, he's been in London since 1972. Was great years and great city, but I don't enjoy it now for certain reasons and attitude. Well, this is a controversial thing to say, but didn't John Cleese say, and he was pulled up about it sometime later, that he doesn't want to live in London because it's no longer an English city? I mean, I grew up dreaming of living in London. And when I finally lived in London, I lasted about 6 months there. I couldn't wait to get out the place, because it's okay visiting London, because when you visit there, you will be seeing the sights in the city centre, the Houses of Parliament, Big Ben, St. Paul's Cathedral, Piccadilly Circus and all that. But the fact is, if you live in London, you won't be living there because you couldn't afford to live there. You will be you will be living in some grotty suburbs, and some of those suburban places like Middlesex, Hounslow, Ruislip, and Hayes, and they're horrible places to live. They're not nice places at all. They're really, really not. So let's see. Bruno, Michael Caine, The Quiet American should be up personally. That was a good movie. I don't think it was one of Michael Caine's best. I have seen that. It's set in their Saigon, isn't it? I don't think it's one of Caine's best, but I think it was quite a good movie. Hard Tulip. Luke, he has talked about 3 different careers he's had in the past, then goes quiet about it, never back to Liverpool for many years. Strange. You talking about me? You're talking about me? You're talking about me? Well, there's nobody else here. Okay, all right, we'll do that. We'll forget the Robert De Niro bit anyway. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Your travels, I feel safe everywhere I visited in Thailand, even Death Island, Koh Tao, your favourite island then. Yeah, Michael, what's up with Michael Caine for? Yeah, Thailand's a very safe place. You know, Pattaya is a very, very safe place. You know, I would feel far safer walking around Pattaya at night time. I wouldn't this bloody place where I live now. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I can walk around Pattaya at the night time without some scabby bastard popping out of nowhere or creeping up behind me, wanting to borrow my mobile phone or wanting to, you know, trying to sponge a fiver or whatever off me. You know what I mean? And we'll talk about that. So we'll talk about that some other time. Paul Hoskin, the best cars go dogging in as a Rover. Woof, woof. Good for you. Okay. No name, Michael. Yeah, we put that on a screen. Michael Caine, Sleuth. That was good. That was good. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. A fine movie. A very entertaining film. Okay, Matthew Cartwright. Good evening. There's some strange conversation going on in the chat here. Humongous. I only go to London to go to Wembley. Can't get out quick enough. Some part of the right dump. Oh, I don't know. I think London is a great city to visit, but it's not a great city to live in unless you've got loads of money. You're in with the right people. You got the right job. Yeah, you know what I mean. None of those things apply to me when I lived there. Yours Travels goes to London for the boxing and also the occasional gambling weekend at the casinos. Still enjoy London, but only ever 2 nights. Okay, that sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, so we've had enough of this. What used to make British people proud of their country, and what is there to be proud of now? We've had some good answers. We've had some good answers. We've had a mixed bag. That question come from Ian Bowden, who has himself got a channel, Ian and Barb. If you want to take a look at a travel channel, you know, he works on the runways at Heathrow Airport, so he's probably busy at work tonight. But thanks to Ian Bowden for that question. Okay, so we've done that one. Let me see. Who's this? Hard Tulip. Hard Tulip. I heard that Pattaya is the murder capital of Thailand. Read it from an article about 2017. Never been there. No, the murder capital. Oh, God, give over. The funds, you want to see me? Okay, okay, nice to hear from you. Okay, so David Coleman, Toronto was safe, now it's hell. Really, 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 really. Okay, so one final question, and this comes from Yogi Bear. Okay? I don't know if he's in the chat tonight, but he did ask this question, so hopefully he'll see it. Okay. Let me see. No, I'm gonna. Where is it now? What was Yogi Bear's question? How did he phrase it? What was his question? Okay. So his question was something like, it was something basically like, it was something like this. Okay, it's been in the news. It has been in the news. There's a news item about this. We're going to finish on this one. Should we eat squirrels? The grey squirrel. Now, I'll just read out this. This is something that's in the news. Okay, let me just see now. Okay, here we go. Forget turnips, now eat squirrel. Restaurants are urged to serve nutritious grey squirrel meat after cull to stop the animals wreaking havoc in the UK woodlands. Okay. Exmoor Squirrel Project seeking to eradicate grey squirrels to replace with reds. Okay. Organisers also in talks with 2 restaurants about serving grey squirrel dishes. Yes. Grey squirrels should be served in restaurants according to a wildlife campaign group. Exmoor Squirrel Project, which is what are we already seen this? So they can be replaced with native red squirrels. Says the non-native creatures could be served up in stews, pies, and kebabs. A squirrel kebab? A squirrel kebab? Really? Organisers are also in discussion with 2 restaurants about serving dishes containing red squirrel. Yeah, you know, red squirrel. Okay, I thought we talked about grey squirrel. Anyway, there's a nice little pecky. Oh, isn't he cute? Isn't he cute? There's a grey squirrel. Can we get that one there? There's a grey squirrel. That's a grey squirrel anyway. But you know, so let's see now. What else have we got? The project is encouraging local homeowners and landowners to stop feeding grey squirrels, volunteer to monitor woodland for them, and in some cases, with the proper term of the project, set traps in gardens to catch the squirrels. Conservationists say red squirrels, which have lived in the UK for around 10,000 years, could become extinct here within a decade because of the invasive grey squirrel. So they're all for the red squirrel, but they say that we should eat the grey squirrel. What do you think about that? Okay. Why are we fools? Never mind squirrels. They want us to eat the bugs. Okay. Paul Loskin, eat squirrels. Are you nuts? Let's see. Lovely bit of squirrel. Everything tastes when we eat other bloody animals, don't we? I mean, like rodents and squirrels and chips, red sauce. But a squirrel kebab, for Christ's sake. Gemini Star, grey squirrels carry disease. I think lots of animals carry diseases. You know, if you cook them at the right temperature, the bacteria will go out of them, won't they? Yeah, a squirrel curry squirrel is lovely. Okay. The thing about grey squirrels, where was I living? I think, yeah, Yogi Bear. He's the one who posed this question. If they're served in restaurants, they would need to come with a warning. They may contain nuts. Like it. Very, very good. That's very, very good, Yogi Bear. Where did I first see grey squirrel? Well, when I was a kid, we used to go from Liverpool to Freshfield, which was like an exotic destination to us. And the lovely red squirrel, the beautiful red squirrels would come out and we'd feed them nuts and various other things. The red squirrels were lovely, lovely creatures. But then I moved south, and I think I was living in Bournemouth, and I've seen an awful lot of grey squirrels. And they're not shy, these grey squirrels. And I found this to my my naive, surprise, really. I was wandering through a park in Bournemouth, and there was lots of squirrels there. And for the stupidity, okay, I had a bag of nuts. Yeah, I had a bag of nuts. And I sat on a bench, and I thought it was clever to feed the squirrels some nuts, these grey squirrels. And I remember quite an alarming moment. I opened a bag of nuts, and I got some nuts in my hand. And all of a sudden, the grey squirrel started approaching me. So I threw him some nuts and he ate them. And then he came closer. And all of a sudden, I noticed another squirrel appeared out of nowhere. And then one of them appeared over my shoulder. And then I turned back. And the squirrel in front of me had jumped on me bloody leg. He'd actually jumped on me. Jeez, I just got up here. Get away from me, you bastards, yeah. They're not shy, these squirrels. For having a bag of nuts, I've been followed by squirrels. They're not shy of people at all. So Yeah, you monks. My dad was telling me tales when he worked in Nigeria. The local tribesman offered him some grilled monkey. He politely declined. I'm sure they eat monkeys. I'm sure they bloody eat monkeys. I've had in, I've had alpaca in Peru, crocodile in Cambodia, water buffalo in Laos, and none of these meats are as good as beef. They don't taste as good as cow. They really, really don't. Crocodile is a bit rubbery, really. Zebao, they are very cute. The red ones are, but you don't see too many of them, But the red ones, are cute, but the grey ones, not so much. London, Cab Town, North East Town, eat rats, no jokes. I'm sure they bloody do. I'm sure in Cambodia there's a lot. I've seen a sign in Cambodia restaurant saying, we don't, we serve wholesome food. We don't serve rats and all kinds of other stuff. Basically pointing the finger at other restaurants, suggesting that they do. I'm sure they do. Okay, yours travels. The Thai girlfriend's family in Murdocha, North Town, eat rats. So I would give it a go as a warmer for the rats I'm going to eat. I wonder what they taste like. I know rats carry lots of diseases, but if you cook them right, I mean, it's meat, isn't it? It's meat. Mark USA, I have a sneaky suspicion that puke was on a plate in front of me. Well, I mean, water buffaloes are beautiful animals. Alpacas are beautiful animals. I've had both of those. I've had both of those, and I don't recall them tasting that good. I kind of felt a bit guilty, when I looked at a beautiful alpaca or a water buffalo afterwards. What else? Snake, crocodile. They serve a lot of crocodile in Cambodia, but I thought it was a bit rubbery. It was all right, but a bit rubbery, really. David Coleman, we will eat anything if we were hungry enough, okay? Hard tulip, yeah, Tizy bugs and crocodile burgers, okay? Paul Hoskin, pigeon pie, yeah, I've seen some of that. No name. Cannibalism is going to make a comeback. It wouldn't surprise me if inflation goes up that much. Yeah, Eddie says, are squirrels any good? If so, then yes. Otherwise, no. I don't know if they're tasty. I'll eat them. We eat all kinds of bloody things, though. But people eat ducks. I've got a friend who will not eat ducks. He'll eat chicken, he'll eat fish, he'll eat other stuff, but he won't eat ducks because ducks are lovely animals. Ducks are beautiful. Quack, quack, quack. You see ducks, they're cute animals, they're lovely. So he won't eat ducks because, ducks are probably no more wholesome, no more honourable animals than chickens. And yet he'll eat chicken and he'll eat beef, but he won't eat ducks because ducks are cute. Squirrels are sort of cute. But I like ducks, but I'd still eat a duck. I'd still eat one. So why the hell not a squirrel? Yeah, let's see. Yogi Bear, just a bit of fun. Lift things after all this. Yeah, absolutely. Yogi Bear, Yogi Bear. This is Yogi Bear's question anyway. So a big thanks to Yogi Bear for putting this question on it. It's all a bit of fun. Humongous. I've had kangaroo, frogs' legs. I'd try a bit of squirrel. No, not frogs. No, I've done a video about food in Phnom Penh. I did a video, a while back about food in Phnom Penh. I will not eat frog again. There's just too many bones in it. There's bones and and really it tastes a bit like sort of chicken. Really, frog's legs. I've never really understood. I think I have had frog's legs, but what did he going to throw the bloody frog away and just eat the legs? I had frog. One of the things I had was frog in Cambodia, and I won't eat it again because it's difficult to eat. There's just so much bloody bones in there and everything. Chaz Brown, okay, thank you for that comment. Okay, so let's see. Okay, why are white fools eat dogs in China? Who's a good boy. They eat them in Vietnam as well. I was in a restaurant in Hanoi in Vietnam, and the English section of the menu printed in English. It clearly said dog meat menu, dog casserole, dog with fries. Oh well, oh well. David Coleman, a bat is just a squirrel with wings. We had a bat running the country in the 1980s, an old bat. Name was Thatcher. David Mayer, bar girls will follow you if you have a bag of money. Yeah, absolutely. Humongous pigeons as well, if you think about it. Why not? Oh, they're ugly little. I don't know what they taste like, but I know that some chefs do keep pigeons. But I don't know what they taste like. But they're ugly little bastards, then, aren't they? You know. Boo hoo, nice to hear from you. Paul Hoskin. It's the same with bar girls. You take somebody out of your pocket, and a bar girl appears over your shoulder. Okay, fair enough. Fair comment. Humongous. Seen the Gordon Ramsay video, deep fried tarantula. That'll be a no-no. Spiders are beautiful creatures. Deep fried tarantula. What does it taste like, though? What is it? Or is he just trying to be clever? Doing it, eating a tarantula. Tarantulas are gorgeous, lovely stuff. Simon Ice 41. Rats taste like chicken. Really? I mean, the difference is that chickens don't climb up your bloody drain pipe and get through a crack in the wall and torment you of a night time. Chickens don't do that. Rats do. The chickens don't invade your property when you least expect it. If they really taste like chicken, yeah, kill all the bloody rats and let's eat them. David Coleman, food is food. This is kind of stupid to think about. If you're starving, you will eat it. Even people, okay, whatever. If you go down to the social club, you get some meat there. Believe me, there's bloody plenty of meat going on there. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yours travels to eat forest and mountain rats in Thailand and Cambodia. Huge, big, I don't know, ugly bastards. The horrible bastard rats are. But if they taste like chicken, then kill them, and let's eat them. Let's eat them all. You monks, that Peking duck you filmed in Saigon look bloody lovely. Apparently, that food hall is a nightclub now. Vaguely. Yeah, vaguely remember that video. Vaguely, yeah, God, you got a long memory. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we're going to finish now. We've been on for an hour and 40 minutes. We have had a bit of a laugh. Okay, last night we had a laugh. I'm doing these live streams on this channel Monday, Wednesday, and no. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights. I do Wednesday as well, but I don't think 4 nights in a row could manage that. But what else is happening? Come on, it's late at night in England. It's about tea time in America. It's whatever it's about, morning time in Australia. What else is going on right now? May as well tune in and have a bit of a laugh. You switch the news on, and it's all about the same old bollocks about Gary Lineker. And, so we haven't mentioned him once tonight, except for then anyway. So why the hell not? We'll develop this stuff now over a period of time. Let's see what happens. I may look into having a phone in. That would be nice. I obviously better get some, the right equipment set up for the phone in. That would be nice. Or maybe get some guests on. But sometimes, to get guests on, some people, not everybody likes the guests or whatever. And also, the problem with having guests on, there are some good guests that I've had on, but I tend to ignore the chat a lot. And like a lot of people prefer it when I pay attention to the chat. So we'll get the right formula sooner or later. We'll get the right formula sooner or later. Okay, so anyway. Okay. So humongous. Yeah, been watching your Vietnam series. Going through the archives. Oh, thanks for that. Thanks for that, tomorrow. Yogi Bear, are you on the other side tomorrow? Probably not. Probably not. There's still a couple of videos to release from the travels, so I'll have a night off tomorrow, and I'll have a night off tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday night at 10 o'clock on this channel, and we'll talk about more of this kind of stuff. So anyway, thanks to the guys who sent questions in. And anyway, have a great day tomorrow. I'll be back Thursday night at 10 o'clock. And all I was going to say is let's hope the temperature keeps rising and we all get out of this cold. And one final thing before I go. Once again, a happy 90th birthday to Michael Caine, one of Britain's finest, terrific actor and a great superstar. I'm very, very patriotic as well. I seem to remember in the 1970s, he was the one who was so apologetic when he had to leave England because of the dreadful tax system. I seem to recall, whereas the other rock stars just disappeared, like, Michael Caine was the one who said, look, I'm sorry, I'm really, really my beloved England. I hate leaving my beloved England, but I simply can't live here anymore and work because they're taking all my money in tax. Okay. Happy birthday to Michael Caine. Okay. So anyway, on that one, I will say good night. Thank you. God bless you all. Have a great Wednesday. And I will see you on Thursday at 10 p.m. UK time. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Cheers.